Live is an exciting game. Good morning, folks, and welcome back to Dusty Tracks BC. We are here back in the Kiwanis Performing Arts Center, and Payge Fortier, the program coordinator and program coordinator at the Dawson Creek Art Gallery and organizer of the Art Walk, has sat down with us today to tell us a little bit about herself, her work, the Art Gallery, and the Art Walk. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you today, Payge?
I'm doing really great, thank you.
Oh, thank you so much for sitting down with us today.
No problem at all. Happy to share about our local artists.
There is a remarkable amount of artists in Dawson Creek. We are endlessly surprised by the art that comes out of this region.
It is very impressive, I gotta say. There's something, I don't know what it is in the north here, but we do produce some pretty high caliber artists.
We definitely do. So tell me a little bit about yourself. How did you get involved with the art gallery?
I was a local Dawson Creek resident most of my life. I carried on to go to art school in Calgary for a bit of time pursuing my art career there, and then I moved back down to Dawson and started a framing company. So I was doing that for about 8 years. Then COVID hit and I shut down my business location downtown, and the art gallery and I kind of teamed together, and I created the framing program there. So I became an employee of the art gallery, introduced the program, and I've been there ever since, and I absolutely love it. It's the best place for my business. Now I can do framing and I teach art classes on the side, so I'm absolutely pleased.
That sounds amazing. And how did you come from the art gallery to then working on the art walk?
During the summer months, my framing actually slows down a fair bit. You know, in the north here, everyone's sucking up every summer day they can possibly get. So the framing does slow down. So I was introduced to the Art Walk program. They were looking for someone to organize it. I'd never done anything like it before, so I thought I'd give it a shot.
That's amazing. And tell me about the art walk. What is it?
So the Art Walk is I guess the incentive is to liven up the communities and bring artwork, I guess, to display to help bolster our art community and a way to give back to our community as well. Our artists are constantly donating to art auctions and different events. We pay them an honorarium to display their work in the Art Walk. So it's our way of giving back to the artist community. And originally the program was developed during COVID, and we were trying to encourage you know, people to get out and about, but it was a lot more of a window shopping then. It was named Heart Walk at that time. So we changed the name a little bit and revamped it, but it's basically the same program. We're bringing artists into businesses and different venues in the area, and we create an interactive map so people can go and visit each place and they can support an artist, and hopefully it does good for both. The artist gets exposure and the business will hopefully get some more foot traffic as well. And so yeah, that's kind of what it's about.
That's so cool. Will you tell me a little bit more, if I were, tomorrow morning, if I woke up and I was like, I want to go on the art walk, how would I do it? What would the day look like?
The day could be a fairly long one, depending. I know in Dawson Creek we have 18 locations. Most of them are accessible by foot, but some are a little bit off the beaten track. We have Hillside Garden Company, they're a few minutes out of town, and the Northern Lights College, we also have 2 artists displayed there. But I would say the best places to probably, if you don't get a physical map, each location will have a physical map available there for you to look at, or you could go onto our Facebook page where we have the map that you could print out or download yourself.
That's so cool. And how many different towns are part of this art walk? Is it just Dawson Creek?
We actually have a lot of neighboring communities as well. We have Chetwynd, Hudson Hope, Fort St. John, and Fort Nelson as well. So it's quite, kind of covers a whole Peace region. I was not able to physically travel to Fort Nelson. I got to give Nancy Stevens props. She's the gal that does all the legwork for me there. I just take in the form intake and send the checks basically at the end. So she's been doing all of the hard work there, which I really appreciate because then I don't have to travel quite as far. But yeah, it's all those communities. I think Dawson has the largest presence right now, but each community, I think we had about 6 or 7 new venues this year added especially into Fort St. John. So it's growing every year.
That's amazing. Do you know how many venues there are overall?
I'm not exactly sure. Off the top of my head, I think that we have about 42.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Will you tell me more about the history of it? So you said it started during COVID. How has it changed over the years?
Yeah, so it started during COVID, and at that time we were really focusing on having artwork in the windows because people were social distancing at that time, and so that was more that we was a window shopping viewing. So I changed the name, like I said, it was Heart Walk before, so I changed it to Art Walk again, and we now are kind of moving a little away from having the window displays, especially because some art is light sensitive. So I wanted to avoid that a little bit more. And also not every venue has a window display as well. So it just opens up the opportunity so more spaces can show artwork.
That's amazing. And if you want to tell me about a few different artists, what are some that come to mind? I know there's too many to name, but can you tell me about a couple that are featured?
Yes, I guess the one that popped to my head immediately, Kaylee Oldershaw. She's a very well-known artist here in Dawson Creek, and we actually both went through Northern Lights College, the visual arts program, together there, and I now have her artwork showing at the college campus right now, and it looks stunning, beautiful work. She's one that I definitely have noticed throughout the years, but there's also, and she's showing with, her name is May Bella Ann, I believe. I'm sorry if I pronounced your name wrong, but she's an international student that opted for the program this year as well, and this is her first time displaying. So yeah, those are the few that kind of first come up to mind. Corinne Crocher from Fort St. John, she's a lady that just started painting recently, and her work is just exploding onto the scene. It's just lovely, and she works very quickly. She produced 5 paintings. I think she told me she had about 3 or 4 unfinished, and then she managed to get them all done for the event. So she's very productive.
That's amazing. And are you showing any of your work? You mentioned you're an artist as well.
Yes, yeah, I am going to have some of my work showing in Hudson Hope in their district building. It's actually quite nice. A lot of the time I get to show in my own community. So these are some works that have already been shown in membership exhibits here. So they're going to have a new audience in Hudson Hope. And so it's I guess it's a collection of work over the years that I've done. A couple of my portrait examples that I've done in workshops, and then I had a artist in residence where I did a show based all on ethical cattle farming, so I have a lot of cow paintings, which have been very popular.
That's really cool. And what type of paintings are they? Will you describe one to me?
They are acrylic paintings, and I use a multiple layer technique that's called optical mixing. So we do transparent layers that create colors through the layering on top of each other rather than doing a physical mix. So they have a very luminous, bright look to them. I guess it's hard to describe, but yeah, I would say they're very bright, vibrant, energetic pieces. And I've been able to create that through learning this technique of the optical mixing.
That is so cool. It sounds like painting with light, which is like...
That's exactly what it is, literally, because it's how our eyes, when we perceive the color, it's actually the color bouncing back off the white of the canvas. So if you layer too heavily, you'll actually lose that luminous quality, which I've done many times, and I get very frustrated. So I've learned now to leave some of those pieces showing because it makes it quite magical, I think.
That's really neat. Such a neat way to layer it. What do you like about painting?
I love the feeling of the process and completing something that I can have in my brain that I can all of a sudden, if I can project what's in my brain onto canvas, that to me is a big win. It's fulfilling, it's relaxing, it's enjoyable, and it makes it even more special when people get to enjoy what I create as well. But I do it for all sorts of different reasons, but I can't decide if I love the process more or seeing people's reaction to it. I think both are great.
That's amazing. We are going to kind of just wait one little minute till these children pass by.
No problem.
Yeah? Are the cameras both good? Okay. Just checking. We try not to put children on camera without children being on board.
Of course.
Awesome. What do you like about the art walk?
I love how the artwork networks local community with the artists that we have here. Like you were mentioning, there's some amazing high caliber artists in the region, and we have a lot of our work that just ends up kind of tucked away when we're not displaying in a gallery setting. So this gives an artist opportunity to showcase and the networking. I know I had an artist reach out to me. She met one of her venues and absolutely fell in love with each other. She's going to go there and order pizza all the time now. So it's I think it just brings our community together, which is my favorite thing about it.
I think that's so cool. It's so great for that art bringing community together. It just seems to be a theme we see so much in Dawson Creek, like interviewing other folks at KBAC and such. It's such an amazing way to bring people together.
Absolutely.
And I love the idea too of you don't know when you're going to come across art in Dawson Creek for the next couple weeks.
Absolutely, yeah, it could be just a surprise. Each venue is going to have an art walk sign posted hopefully on their windows so it's visible. And like I said, the map does show each location, but that's a really good indicator. If you're walking around and you see the art walk sign, pop in, take a look, and because these artists, they work very hard on developing their work and getting it wall ready as well. You know, a lot of people have to frame and do the proper presentation, so it does take a fair bit of effort for them.
Yeah, I bet. How long does it go for?
This is going to be up until, let's see here, the end of August. So for 2 whole months, it's on display. Then the first week of September is our takedown.
Okay, and how long does it take to put up and take it down? Like, how big of a process is this for you to create it?
Well, I would say we get applications for about a month, and then I scramble for about a week and a bit to try to get everyone organized. You know, we get last-minute registrations and the last-minute printing and all the labels, so it's a bit of a mad cluster there. So, and then the takedown is much easier. That usually only takes us about a week for everyone to get the work down. Some venues ask the artists to keep their work displayed, so that's their option if they want to.
That's really cool. Man, it is so cool hearing about this art walk. I'm such a big fan. Is there anything else you want people to know about your work or the art gallery or the art walk in general?
I guess just want people to know that these opportunities are out there. Checking out our local gallery is always a great step. That is actually one of the venue locations because we have our membership show on that during that month. So you may see some of the artists displayed in businesses showing again in the art gallery. But I would just say, you know, get out, support. If you do see a piece that you're interested in, consider purchasing it. You have no idea what that means to the artist. That makes their day, their month, their year, having someone purchase their work. So please buy art.
Buy art, buy local art.
Yes.
Go see the art walk. Amazing. Thank you so much, Paige, for chatting with us today. It has been so cool learning about the art walk and about your work in general, so.
Perfect. Well, thank
you
you so much for giving me the time to talk about it.
Happy to. And thanks everybody for watching.
Bye.